In society today, we are being attacked constantly with inauthentic conversations. Fakeness, trying to look cool, trying to be somebody we're not. That is why the Damn Dude podcast is here to have the authentic conversations that need to be had in a way that will make you think and say, Damn Dude.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
What up, everybody? What is good? Welcome to the Damn Dude podcast.
Damn, dude.
This is season 3, episode 37, which technically makes 249 episodes. That's a grip of episodes. Or we could say a gang of episodes. Or we could say hella episodes. Or we could say a lot of episodes. Whoa, did the volume just get super loud? My soundboard's being weird today. Sorry, guys. Anyways, welcome to the show. This is the Damn Dude podcast, where we have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
This show exists to help educate, entertain, and make an impact on the different contexts and perspectives that we have in life. Because I truly believe that the more access we have to different contexts and perspectives, the easier, doper, smoother, and just flat out doper life is. You dig? I'm your host, California Cal. One of the cool Californians left in this state. There's a few of us left here. You better believe that. So, you guys. Let me see. I was going to take this a couple different places as I started recording this episode. And I'm like, I'm just going to go with what the fuck rolls off the tongue and feels best, right? So, hold on. Before we do that, well, no, this is part of that. What we're going to do is I want to explain something real quick. The reason why I say the show exists to help educate, entertain, and make an impact on the different contexts and perspectives that we have in life, because think about this. And this is an example that I learned. I didn't make this up. And this is just my filtered version of it, my interpretation of it. Which is, let's say, for example, you're holding up a coffee cup. A mug, whatever the fuck you want to call it. A ceramic cup that has a handle on one side. And it's just a round fucking cup all the way around. Let's say you're having a conversation with somebody. And the conversation is about this cup. And you're holding this cup up, or the cup is in between you guys. Let's say that. The cup is in between you guys, and you guys are standing on either side of it. You're standing on the side with the handle. The other person is standing on the other side with no handle, and they cannot see the handle. So just based on their views, these two people's view of the cup, your view with the handle, their view without the handle, that's two different contexts and perspectives about the same fucking thing. But what happens if you were to argue your point? This cup has a handle. That cup does not have a handle. That's what they come back with. No, this cup absolutely has a handle. I'm looking right at it. They come back with, this cup does not have a handle. I am looking right at this cup. And then it's like, bro, are you looking at the same fucking cup? Clearly it has a handle, dumbass. And then the other guy's like, there's no fucking handle on this cup, you idiot. I'm looking right at it, motherfucker. Like, what are you talking about? So the thing is like, both people are right and both people are wrong. And that's because the only difference is their context and their perspective of this cup. So now, just because each side of the cup exists, it now created that you and this other person disagree and think each other are stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, dude.
So that's why the show is important. And that's what this means, and that's what that means, and that's what this is about. It's to be able to share as many different contexts and perspectives, so that way you guys, the listeners, and me, the sharer, as I'm speaking of this and observing life and all these different things, we're able to put this out there, and we all have access to it, right? So now imagine in the scenario, you and that person had access to understanding that, okay, well, there might be a handle on that side. I can't see it. I'm not coming from that side, And it's like, well, shit, I understand that there's no handle on my side, but that doesn't automatically mean there's not one on that side. I haven't even seen it. I haven't seen from that person's point of view. I haven't put myself in their shoes. I don't know what makes them fucking tick and talk and fucking click and clock and wick and walk and I don't know. That was kind of lame. But anyway, yeah, I think that that's so important. And I think that's one of the best tools for experiential learning is to be able to collect and gain context and perspectives from different parts of the world and different generations of people and different eras of teachers and different levels of life and physicalness and belief and spirituality and everything that exists in between that. So I will warn you guys that this episode is going to be, well, we'll see as I start talking about this, because I realize if I kind of plan to talk about trippy shit, I usually end up not being that trippy and don't get that deep, so I'm just not even going to say it. But this has the potential to get very, very fucking trippy and hard to follow. And you're going to have to like stop and rewind and take it in for a second and be like, wait, what? Like, if this type of language is foreign to you. Now, I understand this shit can sound fucking crazy. And I understand that this shit is crazy. And I understand that this shit is also very real. And I also understand that these are the conversations that need to be had in the way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Okay, sorry, I just had to throw that in there. But no, really, it's like when we have access to hearing words in new ways and in new contexts and new perspectives, we're able to transform our own life without having to go through the hardship of things, right? So I think that's what's so cool about sharing context and perspective is that if somebody shares a context or a perspective that you can acknowledge is so real and powerful that you're able to apply it to your own life and you're able to avoid shitty situations because of this context that you picked up. Because when you pick up a context, it's a way of viewing, right? Perception, a perspective. It's like, it's the way that you're looking at what actually exists. So that's how I relate to spirituality. It's like spirituality is a context and perspective in which we can view life, reality, actuality, creation, manifestation, attraction, self-awareness, etc.
Damn, dude.
So, I believe... See, this is funny, because it's like, this is not I believe. This is I've experienced and I know. That I know and have met and am continuing to grow my understanding of my spiritual family. Like, who is what in my life spiritually. Now, I do believe that as humans, this is where I believe, is that, but I also feel like I have my own evidence. Okay, let's just keep going. Fuck it, I don't need to define all that. In my experience, I've discovered that I have met my soul family, and that my soul family hold on, before I get into that. I believe that this is what I was going to say. I believe that we do live in the existence reality of reincarnation. I do believe that we reincarnate, not in the typical sense where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm just back as a bird, I'm back as a this or that. Like, how I think this works is that when our physical body passes away here, I think our spirit was already alive from previous lifetimes, and it had lived previous lives, and we keep coming back to keep learning the lessons and healing the generational baggage and the spiritual needs that are fulfilled, unfulfilled, of power, of needing completion, of needing healing, of to help heal others. Like, I feel that some people's families have more, they're on a loop of evolution, and they're on a timeline of where their family and culture has been here longer as humans than other families and cultures. And that we keep coming back until we heal things, right? And it's like, for me, going out and doing ayahuasca and holding ceremonies and deep meditations and things like this, I've been able to access a lot of different spiritual realms and worlds and different places that exist that other people have visited and documented in the spiritual world as well. So this is the thing, is like, there's a lot of people who are very well established in the spiritual world. Now, how do I contextualize the spiritual world? For me, it's like the same thing as how we live on Earth, but with all the bullshit removed. Like, for example, somebody very important and close to me, a soul brother and relative in real life, right? Like, which is trippy. I'll get into that in a minute. Was like, yo, like, sometimes it's hard fucking just being a human. Like, I've been sucking at being a human lately, and I just like cracking up. I'm like, yo, I feel that. Like, you know, it's like, you know what your soul, it's like, if you meditate deeply, if you've experienced, you know, ceremony where you've gone deep, if you've experienced different just experiences that have taken you on a spiritual healing or journey or path or experience, or you've downloaded or gained spiritual wisdom or information, you know, through prayer or church or whatever your mean is, right? For some people it's surfing, for some people it's biking, for some people it's praying several times a day, for some people it's meditating, for some people it's ice baths, for some people it's conversations, for some people it's whatever, right? There's all different versions. But I do think that there are different levels of strength in different ceremonies or rituals that can allow us access to different spiritual wisdom that's existed for the existence of time. So I've really gotten to contextualize my spiritual family via ceremonies, meditation, prayer, and other people's who I relate to as soul brothers and sisters and family and etc. have shared back the same relationship back to me. And that's where it's like, okay, it's like, so a way that I could put this, and this might not make sense or this might make complete sense, which is your spiritual family can be people who are not your blood relative family in this physical lifetime. So like, your dad could be your brother in the spirit world, in the spirit realm. Like, zoomed out, your, like, AKA your highest self, the best version of you, the inner God in you. That's what I'm referring to with this. Like, your spirit, like, it's like that spirit realm is essentially the best version and worst version of your imagination. It's your greatest and like it's like your greatest pride and sense of self, and also your lowest sense of pride and self. That's like, all of that kind of goes into a spirit world. Think about like like, have you ever cried so hard that it's like, especially as a kid, and if you've done that, like, breathing, dude, when you do that breathing, you get fucking blasted off into your spirit world. You turn tingly, your whole body turns numb, and you almost are like outside of yourself. So this is the thing, is breath work is a version of doing that. Whoa, shit, I just knocked over a tray of stuff. Had a whole tray of Palo Santo I just knocked over. So it's like when you do breath work, it's like there's parts where it literally is that. It's like, and you're breathing that intense, just in, out, as fast as you can. And it's like, when you do that, you just start getting spiritual downloads. That's why breath work is so powerful. That's why ice baths and shit like that is also so powerful and stuff like that, because it's like, it's a spiritual vehicle. The same way how I've explained before, like music and ceremonies and stuff like that, and instruments and prayers and chanting and stuff like that are also spiritual vehicles. So I've learned that, no, not that. I've learned a lot of my relationships. How do I say this? I've never said this out loud before. In recent times, I've gained a whole lot of insight on the people who exist here on Earth, my relatives, the people I know, my family, my friends, right? I've learned my spiritual relationship with them as well. And that's something that I've been really like learning and thinking and just been mind blown about, is like, all right, my spiritual relationship to all these people. And when I understand my spiritual relationship to anybody, I can't be mad at anybody for anything. So it's like, I look at people who are soul brothers, sisters, relatives. Oftentimes these people are people who cause a lot of pain in our physical earthly life. And it's like, it's because they're soul brothers and sisters that it's like, like I said, I believe that this whole thing, our whole lives work on like loops on like, we come back to complete this and that. And then like, I think once we complete the lessons, I think we kind of get to go up and choose. And, or I also think after every life cycle here on Earth, we go up, and then this is another version that I kind of believe too, is that like, versus like you come back and keep learning the lessons. I think that's one version. And I think also, and or you evolve to this, or you just get to do this, which is like in your spiritual, when you die, your spirit goes up or down or fucking wherever, right? Does its thing, depending how you lived and what you know, this is why I say it's kind of and or, is because like, depending what you did, if you owe more lessons to life, then maybe you got to come back and you know, in one lifetime you're a murderer or a fucking animal abuser or a child abuser, some nasty shit, right? Like, and then the next you come back and you fucking, you know, rescue puppies or fucking save children or, you know, some shit. You never know, right? So that has me thinking, is like, all right, well, if I can understand my spiritual relationship with any of the people who hurt me or cause pain or do things to impact the way that my peace is felt in this lifetime, that's just a reflection of pain that I've either caused them in another lifetime or in another scenario, or pain that I've caused somebody else at a different point. And it allows me to understand that whatever the fuck goes on in life, our spiritual existence and our relationship with God and our own inner God is far more important than whatever the fuck bothers us.
Damn, dude.
Whatever the fuck bothers you is like the shit that's not important. For the most part. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's weird. It's like, I mean, it's completely important, but it's not important. Like, a lot of times what we're mad at, it's what we're incomplete with about something else. And whatever we get mad at in new real time is only because it reminds us of ourself, or it reminds us of something that somebody did to us, or it reminds us of when we did something to somebody, or anything like that. So it's like, for me, because of this dynamic and understanding of my relationship to my spiritual family and my physical family here, and all of that, I understand that, like, because of this dynamic, it's like almost anything goes because the understanding is so much deeper, and I can zoom out and kind of just laugh and be like, fucking A, like, your human version of you did what? Like, all right, like, for sure. Like, yeah. So, like, I just crack up. It's like, dude, like, there's not even anything that, like, anybody who I consider my soul family can do that would have me permanently, like, I fucking hate you, or, you know what I'm saying, or even be mad. Like, so I think about, like, a lot of people hold on to a lot of, like, anger and resentment towards people or family or society or different issues or whatever. And what's very, very interesting is, like, when we tap into our highest self, when we tap into our spirit self, when we tap into our spirit, we're able to heal things and mend things with people's spirit, like with their highest self. And it's like, if we speak with a person's highest self versus their flawed human ways, there's a big difference in who we're speaking to and who we're relating to. So it's like, if somebody does something that hurts your feelings, or you don't agree with, or whatever, or you're upset, it's like, and let's say you're not able to have this conversation with them in physical life because either whatever reason, right? Either like you or the person's too reactive, too triggered. You just don't know how to have the conversation. You don't have the words. You don't have whatever the means, whatever the heck it is. They don't need to even be there or be present for you to speak to their soul, to their highest self, to their inner God, to their best version of themselves. Like, that's what praying is, essentially. It's like you're speaking to the greatest good, to great spirit, to God, to whoever you pray to, right? Like, and great spirit encompasses all. So I think about this and it's like, well, shit, you really don't even, like, people don't even need to be alive to be able to heal shit with them. Like, if you had an argument with somebody who died, or you did somebody dirty and then they passed away, or they did something dirty and it hurt you and they passed away, or whatever the case may be, they don't even need to know how to listen or be present. They don't even need to be alive for you to heal shit within yourself and your spirit and your inner God and inner good and highest and best version of yourself, and another person's greatest good and highest version of themselves. Because understand that all human beings are flawed, and all of us are absolutely gonna do dumb shit. We're gonna we're gonna say dumb shit, act dumb, be dumb, make mistakes, do this, do that. But, like, really, the whole thing is, like, are you learning? And if mistakes are in the name, or for the sake and in the name of learning, they're always okay and always welcome. So whatever mistakes that you may make, just understand that, like, it's okay, because we're human beings. And as human beings, I think it's our responsibility and duty to just make as much peace with ourselves and others' inner good to the best of our abilities. You know what I mean? And it's like, you don't, like I said, it's like, people don't even have to be present. You don't even have to have a conversation in order to heal things, you know? So I think about that and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do my best to just speak to every person's highest self and just put out the greatest good of energy all around me at all times. Because something me and my son were talking about was like, dude, like, when we had went to Skid Row, and if you guys remember that, like, I took him to Skid Row because he was getting interested in, like, he was getting curious about, like, drugs and this and that and just, you know, normal teenage shit to get curious about. And I was like, all right, bro, like, I'm going to show you. Like, this is where drugs leads you. And I realize, I'm like, damn, you're curious because we've raised you well, so you're not around drugs and this and that, all this nasty or bad shit, right? So I was like, okay, good parenting move. And also, shit, I get where, okay, we have to bring awareness to this, to like a real level of awareness. So it's like, all right, we're going to go to Skid Row in LA. And it's one of the grimiest places on this entire planet. Like, I've been through the slums in Peru. I've been through the slums in Mexico. I've been in, like, you got the hood and stuff in Long Beach and wherever. New York. This is just different. And there's there's a few spots like this. I forget the name of the place in Philly. And there's just few places around that, and it's growing and it's growing and it's growing. But Skid Row in LA, the history, and it's absolutely sad and disgusting, and just it's heartbreaking. But going there, like me and my son were talking about, he's like, dude, and we were talking about, like, dude, my bubble and like force field of energy, like for me personally, as a man, as myself, I know the extension and the reach of my bubble that I can project and retract and keep. So it's like, if I don't want you in my space, I'll retract my bubble. And it's like, if I want you included in my space, then I'll extend my bubble. And like a lot of times, like, people will acknowledge this. It's like when I'm talking with them or telling a story, it's very like, you're very in it. And it's because like I'm aware that the bubble I create, and this also works. This is how, like, a lot of gangsters are very, very aware of their space and their bubble and their projection. Because, like, real gangsters, they know how to move, and what they're doing is continuously and constantly reading every body movement, every fucking little thing, every little color, dude. Like, gangsters are some of the most observant people on this planet, because they're able to recognize, they're able to assess an entire person's wardrobe, where they're from, what they mean, what they stand for, where they come from, all these things, by scanning from fucking head to foot and back up in like a half a second. As where the average person goes, oh, there's somebody there. The gangster has observed head to toe, knows what color shoestrings this person has on, knows what direction they're wearing their belt, knows the detail of their hat, which way it's worn, which way it's tilted, all these things, knows their earrings, tattoos, the way that they stand, walk, posture, all of that. The gangster has been aware and observed all of that. As where the average person is just like, they don't see all that. They don't need to know all that. So I think that when we can observe and be observant to the best of our abilities and understand that, like, we're all humans and we all do dumb shit. And I think the more that we're all just real about that, like, the better off we all are. Like, truly. And dude, it's like, okay, so I guess we got a little trippy, but not that trippy, because I feel like that makes it very real. Because this whole spirituality thing to me is very real. It's not a conceptualized thing, and it's like, I can show you ways on how to fucking activate it and do all these things and lead you through, different breath work or ceremonies or different things like that, to where you're really going to experience this shit. And, I went to Peru multiple times, on different occasions to learn this and practice and all of that. And I'm like, all right, I'm just honoring my responsibility. And I look at, like, what it means to just grow up in society now. It's really weird. Growing up in society today, it's 2023, and life is just weird. Like, people are very strange. Like, I very much feel like all people aren't even like, what is it? I don't know, dude. Like, the way everybody humans is so different. The way people choose to be a human is so funny and different. And, like, the shit they choose to worry about and care about is so dumb and stupid. And, like, as humans, we just worry and care about the dumbest shit ever. And we act like it's so fucking important and special. And none of it really is. Like, what's really important is being connected to goodness and providing greatness and excellence in the most areas of your life that you can. Like, this shit is cool. We gotta make it cool. All the dumb shit doesn't matter. Being scared of this and that and worried about this and that is a waste of time. Like, you know what I mean? Like what I think about is, like, when people who are like, I was talking about this the other day, like, dating. I don't believe in dating. Like, not that I don't believe in it, like it doesn't exist. Like, okay, to me, and this might be offensive, and you're welcome. You needed to hear it, bitch. Okay, no. So, okay. Where are we going with this? Okay, dating. I feel like this is just my personal opinion and observation, and I'm not right, and I'm also not wrong, and it just is. So for those of you, you can put on your offended hat now. You other guys can put on your party hat. You other guys can be like, well, that was fucking stupid. Whatever. I believe that dating to find love is microwave macaroni and cheese compared to homemade, fresh-baked, southern-style macaroni that stands with the crispy crunch on the crust of cheese layer on the top, but it's still gooey on the inside of it, but it still stands up. Finding love.
Damn, dude.
Okay, well, what is the alternate version of dating? What's the fucking homemade southern-style macaroni version of dating? Right? What is that? It's like, it's the okay, sorry, I'm not gonna go off on that right now, because I could just keep coming up with metaphor after metaphor and it'll be endless. Okay, anyway, I swear, like, I'm not a dick, like, I'm a cool dude. Okay. Anyway, okay. So, I think that dating is the microwave version of real love. And I say this because I believe and observe and have experienced and had many conversations and observations about this, that in order to find real love, a, like, dope partner, it's not through dating apps. It's not through dating. It's not through hooking up. It's not through, sometimes it's through the bar or whatever. Wait, that's not the point. Dating and finding a real love and a real partner that matters is working on yourself so much so that you are undeniably attractive and you are undeniably attracting equal and higher quality partners than the level that you're operating at.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Let's go, honey. Yo, this is the realest shit, though. For reals. Like, okay, ladies, if ladies are listening, I'm giving you the cheat code for a good dude, because I know really good men, and I know decent men, and I know mediocre men, and I know men, and I know really shitty men, and I know lower than that. And I'm telling you, I know and have met a lot of people in my life, like in real life. And I observe a lot of trippy shit. And ladies, the trick is to just be so undeniably attractive and attracted to yourself in a non-egotistical way that you're just undeniably attractive. And you don't have to be fucking perfect looking. You can look like a fucking butt-toothed beaver with a fucking ogre face and still get a fucking dope-ass dude. And on the flip side, you could be a fucking just disgusting pig of a man physically and still get the baddest fucking woman. It's just who you are, right? What you're bringing forth, what you're bringing to the table, what your level of standard is. So that's the thing, is like, yeah, if you're operating on some gross shit, you might, the scale might tip if you don't step your shit up. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, dude, the true way to find true love is to fall so much in love with yourself because you are just so undeniably dope and your habits are so dope and what you do is so cool and you're so open and so present that you're not trying to do this, trying to do that, da 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 da. And that's where so many people get lost in the sauce. And that's the trick. It doesn't matter how fucking old you are. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter if you make no money. It doesn't matter if you fucking live in your car or in a box or fucking at a shelter or in a truck or in a fucking Honda Accord. It doesn't fucking matter. You can still find a partner. But the thing is to do what you do so dopely with so much love that it's undeniably attractive to the type of person that you're attracted to.
Damn, dude.
So that is the real macaroni, you dig? So don't come through like a phony on these funny ass dates. Otherwise you get left being late with some weirdo dude who's a creeper who scares you once you go down to sleeper, because once you're sleeper in Australia, then you'll say, oh no, and once you say, oh no, then it's time to go. Okay, clearly rapping is not my forte, but rapper's forte is from the Bay, so this may do something cool for you if you're too cool to go to school, or if you're cool enough to go to school, you fool. So make sure you teach your kids to swim before they go in the pool. Okay. Terrible, guys. Why do you guys let me do this? Why do you guys let me do this? Okay, so no, but for reals, I'm giving you the real macaroni. Like, that's the shit. You just got to be so dope that, like, you're so real. And this is the thing, is like, I kind of was always a believer that you shouldn't find love at low points when you're at low points in life, because a lot of times what happens, or it's like if you're on the rebound, like, you're just trauma bonding. And that's the worst shit ever. When you create a relationship out of trauma bonding, you've already fucked yourself in the first place. And if you think about it, it's like, dude, when you're attractive enough, then it's like you're out doing enough. That when you are out doing enough stuff, that means you are out being attractive. And it's like, it's attractive to go fucking surfing, riding your bike, go hiking, go on a walk, go fucking to the museum, whatever the fuck you like to do, right? And that's how you end up meeting people with and of similar interests, right? So it's like, that's kind of the magic, is you just doing you so much so that you find somebody else who's equally as dope, who enjoys doing what you enjoy doing, and or your vibe is just of that, then that shit is magic. And real true love operates off of magic, not dates. Dinner, pasta, $85, dressing up, being nervous, all that shit is not part of it. That's like what you get to earn when you've developed that love and that respect for each other. Like, and dudes, you shouldn't be fucking taking ladies out on this fucking stupid expensive shit. Like, what has she done to earn that? Right? And it's like, at the same time, like, ladies, like, I'm not saying you can't go have that, but like, come on, what's the bigger picture? right? Like, I get it's different if you're out just trying to get laid or this or that, and that's your fucking gig, then cool, do you. I'm not talking to you guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, like, where it's like you really care about who you share your energy with, I guess. So that's what makes me think about dating. Like, that's, you know, the craft single version versus that real macaroni. So that leads me to the next thing, which is men. Who taught you guys to be men? Do you actually know how to be a man? Women, who taught you to be women? Do you know how to actually be a woman? What does it mean to be a woman? What does it mean to be a man? Those are questions I believe that when you do start talking to somebody and you're like into them, you should start asking shit like that. Ask the hardest questions first. What's your relationship like with your parents? What's your relationship like with your brother, your sister? Like, if it hasn't already been addressed, right? Like, if you are catching yourself in a date or something, ask just the crazy questions first. And it's like, it's not even crazy. Like, to me, if I was ever to, like, just meet somebody, like, and I was in the dating world, right, and that's what I was doing, that's the shit that it would just have to be that. What's your relationship like with such and such? What's your relationship like with your friends? Da, 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 da. Those are the important questions to ask, or the important questions and things to figure out, because all of that dictates how a person's going to treat you, how that person's going to treat you when they're upset, no matter how fucking pretty they are, or handsome, or whatever the fuck, right? No matter how attractive they are.
Damn, dude.
So just understand that it's like, my mom's a bitch, my dad's a bitch, well, fuck my sister, she's a bitch. Okay, fair, like, okay, yeah, they might be some fucked up people. Fair enough. They might do fucked up things. They might be absolutely mean. But for that person to take the stance and position of fuck them, they're a bitch, that's not an emotionally healed or mature individual. An emotionally mature, healed individual sees and acknowledges that and goes something along the lines of like, okay, they're going through some stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, why do I have to be upset about your upset? You know what I mean? Like, that's your shit, not mine. And I don't have to accept your gift of anger. I don't have to accept your gift of upset that you're bringing to me, that you're bringing to my door, that you're bringing into my radius, that you're bringing into my circle, my bubble. I'm okay on that. I don't, you know what I'm saying? No, thank you. I appreciate it. You could do that over there. And why I'm asking these questions, why I'm saying all this, is because that leads me to the next thing in particular, which is rites of passage. Like, rites of passage to becoming a man or a woman. A rite of passage to enter you into adulthood. Something that really stands out and puts an imprint and a stamp on your life. And really is like a turning point for the dynamic of how you relate to yourself. Like, I think about this, and for my oldest son, like, turning 18 and just becoming a man, I'm like, dude, we're going to do this. We're going to have a rite of passage. And our rite of passage is ceremony and have super deep talks and just get real and, like, you know, just talk to the deepest, realest, absolute level that we can speak to, as vulnerable and openly as possible, and as caring and loving as possible, in order to transform the way that we view life and relate to each other. Because it's like, all right, like, I want to be able to relate to you as a man. And, you know, I want you to be able to relate to yourself confidently as a man, knowing and having this context and perspective on life and for yourself that, no, I'm a motherfucking man. I stand up for this shit. I do my shit. I handle my shit. I'm a bad motherfucker. Respectfully. You know what I mean? And, like, that's some attractive shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I taught my son to fucking navigate. I taught him mindfulness, to think for himself. And in turn, he teaches me fucking compassion, love, understanding, listening, patience, gratitude on a whole nother level, a whole different level of self-understanding and spiritual understanding. So like we help each other, but it's like, in order for us to keep helping each other grow and learn and develop as men and spiritual warriors of the light and of what's good and right for this world and for ourselves and for our family, is to acknowledge as many things as we can within ourselves, within our spirit, within our soul, within our transformations, taking stock in where we come from, where we came from, where we've been, where we're at now, what we're doing, where we're headed, where we're going, what we're up to. And it's like, look, you're a motherfucking man. And I straight up told my son, and Nate, I'll tell you again, straight up, you've lived a far more intense and crazy life than I have. Easily 100%. You're truly and easily 1,000,000,000% smarter than me. And I could not be happier about that. Truly. Because it's like, as a parent, you only want your kids to do better than you. And if I've been able to inject all my fucking, however old I am, 36 or 7 or whatever, years of experience and perspective and context into his life, and show him that my perspective and context in life is continuously evolving and changing, and it's never staying the same. He understands that and knows that we are here to fight the good fight, that we are here to be protectors and leaders and healers of the people, of our families, of our land, to evolve our generation, our future generations moving forwards. And I couldn't be prouder to be your dad, Nate. And I think it's just the coolest thing ever that you teach me almost more than any person on this planet ever has. And it just keeps growing and growing, and we're always excited about what we could teach each other next. And to me, that's the coolest fucking thing ever. And like, there's nothing cooler that I could ask for. And I just look forward to everything that we're going to create together, all the life and experience and everything that we need to thrive to the best of our abilities, and to really exist with purpose on this life. Because just exist here to exist here, that's fine. We all do that to some capacity, I'm sure. Well, or have, because there's people who I believe don't anymore, or have evolved past that and continuously live in their purpose and in their state, and get to that point of being able to live in their purpose and their purity and their goodness and oneness, and like just everything to the best of their abilities. So I think about all of this, and as I go through, and it's like we have ceremony, and like we put it under the context of a rite of passage for my son, like it just reminds me all over again, like, fuck, man, like I never did this for myself. My version of rites of passage were like having my friends murdered, being cheated on, breaking my skull, neck, and back, breaking all these bones, getting injured so many times, losing so many friends, going through so much emotional stuff, and just so many different kinds of versions of heartbreak and pain and all of that, right? Suffering, the whole thing, just surviving, just fucking raw, right? And as I sit here and I explain all these things to him, I'm like, fuck, man, like what I'm explaining to you as you being 18, it took me 37 years to be able to even say these words to you. To even think these things, to even be able to filter these through my spirit and conscious and mind and subconscious and words, and like just to share them, right? And I'm like, fuck, man, like this is my rite of passage equally. Because it's like I've never fucking had anybody to really like tell me shit. Like, once I was an adult, like, or once I was a teenager and older, like, nobody told me anything, dude. Like, and if you did, I definitely wasn't fucking listening. You know, it's like the main thing that held it all together for me was the space that my mom would hold for me. She would always just be like, oh, okay, and keep things open-ended always. Like, oh, that's cool, what about this? And just kind of, and I would just kind of flip it to an open, to something open. And I'm like, oh shit. And that openness continuously led me to keep thinking and thinking in different ways, and like, and keep expanding my mind and to keep seeking knowledge. And like, the whole time I thought I wasn't seeking knowledge, and I really was. I just had a different context on it. I was looking at the cup from the side with the handle versus without, so to say.
Damn, dude.
And I'm like, damn, all right, like, I'm finally understanding adult shit that most adults already had figured out by the time they're like 25, 26. I've just been so far behind on the life scale. I've done nothing, well, not nothing, but primarily just disappoint and fail on so many aspects of life in the past 3 years. And standing in a in a position of power and creation, and understanding that I will absolutely not ever give up. Like, ever. I cannot. I'll take the fucking peaks and valleys and yada da da da, and I'm gonna keep it motherfucking pushing. You know what I mean? Because what the fuck, dude? If you got a dream, just keep going. Don't sell out on yourself, dude. Like, do not. I'm still in the midst of the shit, and I'm telling you, even in the midst of the shit, do not fucking sell out on yourself. The business idea you had, the fucking dream of going to whatever the fuck, you're not too old, you're not too poor, you're not too this, you're not too that. None of that shit. Fuck that. Tell all that shit, fuck you. You all got those ideas from some other dumb fuck anyways. And that dumb fuck has no right to still haunt your brain and your space and your energy and your capacity. That's why we've all moved on to the points that we've moved on to, and away from the people we moved on to, because we don't need the dumb shit that we moved on to. And holding emotional baggage is holding on to the worst part of another human being who you used to enjoy.
Damn, dude.
So why not just not do that? If we have the ability to speak on that, think about it, and be provided with that context, it's like, I just showed you that handle. Now acknowledge that it exists.
Damn, dude.
Yo, this is a crazy episode, dude. So yeah, I will not sell out on myself, dude. I'm gonna keep doubling down. Even if I don't know how or what the fuck I'm doing, I'm gonna figure out what the fuck I'm doing, because I've gotten pretty fucking far knowing absolutely nothing. And yeah, I mean, I've gotten pretty motherfucking far knowing jack shit. And like, the only fucking thing, like, honestly, guys, the only real fucking things I have outside my physical skill of being able to teach kids really well, and this just stems from the next smaller thing, which you all have your own version of, which really the only skills I have is that I'm super observant and I'm very honest with myself. And that's it. Like, I don't really have, I'm not good at anything else. Like I skateboard at a very, very strong beginner, light, intermediate. Like, I'm comfortable as fuck on a skateboard. Like, I'm not good by any means. I can't really do anything. But at the same time, I could do a whole bunch of shit that, like, if you don't know how to skateboard, you're like, wow, dude, how do you do that, right? Like, sort of shit. I just have a lot of experience on it. I never was really good at skateboarding. And that's funny because I've never admitted that to myself. And it's just true. I've really never been good at skateboarding. I just try really hard. And I've been able to do some cool shit. Like, I could bust some K grinds. I've been able to hit some pretty cool gaps and grinds here and there. But, like, otherwise, like, I'm not doing sick-ass shit. You know what I mean? I'm out there just having fun. Surfing, I'm decent. I'm not fucking great. I'm just out there having fun. On a bike, I'm just having fun. On a motorcycle, I'm probably on the higher intermediate. I'm probably like okay. I'm probably like a dabbling in advanced sort of rider, I think. And I really should take it to the track to like actually weigh out how fucking good I actually am or not at this at the whole thing. No, but it's like riding on the road. I'm kind of fast. You know, there's some people who smoke me out there, but like I'm relatively fast. You know, the average rider has trouble keeping up with me, I'd say. But anyways, enough about my own horn. I don't know. I guess I'm just like reflecting on like, dude, like I think it's important, especially if you're an adult, if you have kids, if you have younger ones, if you got relatives, cousins, nieces, nephews, to like give them and offer them different rites of passage. And I think that's something that's so cool about like Mexicans. I bet you weren't ready for that to come out of my mouth. Is that like they have quinceañeras. Like a quinceañera's off the hook. They're like, yo, you're 15 years old. You're a fucking woman. We're spending fucking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100K on this fucking dancing horse and this gown and the fucking tuxes and the dance lessons and the fucking dude, if you've ever been lucky enough to be a part of or go to a quinceañera, you know it's off the charts. Quinceañeras are the sickest shit ever, dude. Like, it's so fun. And it's just so beautiful. Like, you're like, wow, like everybody should be doing some version of this, you know? And that's where I'm like, dude, like, that's where I'm just trying to do that for my son. I'm like, yo, like, we're going to have this fire. We're going to do this. We're going to pray. We're going to meditate. We're going to do these things. We're going to really, like, honor you. You know, we're going to do this for the sake of you transitioning into a man and owning and claiming your manhood and adulthood and your right and your place in this world to fucking stand up and declare whatever the fuck you want, create that, do that, and own that shit because it's fucking cool. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's whatchamacallit? What was I just looking for? Fuck. I don't know what I was just looking for. Anyways. Yo, it's been real, as always. I hope you guys followed that. I know we're on a roller coaster of things. As weird people say, a myriad of topics. A myriad of topics. That's weird. I wouldn't use words like that. Anyway. What the fuck, dude? I swear, half the time, this is what's so fun about doing this podcast is like, it's very easy for me to let words come out of my It's very easy to let words come out of my mouth faster than they can filter through my brain. And I'm sure you guys can tell the moments where I'm doing that and where I'm not. Because sometimes I'll think and I'm so deep into explaining and describing something so exactly. And then other times I'm just fucking like going off on some weird ass shit. And I just think it's fun. So, you guys, it's been good. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Let's have a beautiful motherfucking day. Because this is season 3, episode 37, aka episode 249. And that's a lot of motherfucking work. That's basically, it's actually over. But it's a roughly 250 to 270 hours worth of recordings, you guys. That's quite a bit.
Damn, dude.
Because each one of these episodes is roughly about like an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. And we've had podcast episodes where it's been up to like 3 hours. So that's why I say that. And that's pretty cool and impressive. So I'll see you guys next time, Thursday, for season 3, episode 38, episode 250. Excuse me.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude.
I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Whoa. What's going on? Okay. Let's try that again. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Please be sure to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell your best friends, cousins, woodworking, Paul Schaefer lookalike, transvestites, uncles, best friends, cousin, poli-sci majors, influenza vaccine research developers, Pawpaw and Meemaw about the Damn Dude motherfucking podcast, because you know those motherfuckers need this shit. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful motherfucking day. Much love. Oh, go donate to We Clean Planet. Also, if you want to donate to the show, the Damn Dude motherfucking podcast, we greatly appreciate that. We've made a total of $5 ever, and that is so greatly appreciated. But hit the Cash App, Damn Dude Podcast. That'd be greatly appreciated, because I put a lot of work into this, and that would just be fucking cool. Anyways, or not. You don't have to do shit. Anyways, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful day. Much love. Peace.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.